Previously on the Game Movin' podcast, the Overton Bridge appeared as winter settled into the empty twins' cradle. The Prism no longer sat atop its ziggurat, and the bones of Ivor lay uncovered. The trees of the Whispering Wood formed a palisade around the enormous oak of the King in Green. The thundering plateau was silent and littered with bones. Unaccustomed to the cold, crops failed, and the people of the bridge scrambled to keep themselves warm as they foraged what they could from the new growth in the valley. Fortunately, mushrooms were plentiful, and they were soon joined by Gravekeeper Visalia, who used her magic to warm the bridge in exchange for shelter. But as wheel turns and woe follows after, the mushrooms bore infant Faye, and the Gravekeeper's dead steel wound beset the bridge with a miasma that sapped spirits, compromised bodies to disease, and gave the infected a grim predilection for drudgery. The resolve of the Overtonians was tested but not broken, as they received a message from far to the south. In a season's time, the bridge would return home, and they must prepare for war.
Perpetually on the run. That's her life, unfortunately. Does she have a child this time, too?
That's also her band name.
So she didn't bring a dragon egg this time, though.
Right.
Uh-huh.
That was the
It's
whole.
probably not an egg anymore.
Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Is everyone okay with me getting a little dark?
Go for it.
Have I ever not been okay with you getting a little dark?
You're gonna turn the lights off?
Explicit permission.
It's going to be a little gnar. It's going to be horror film kind of ish. The explorers make a discovery, and it is grim. One of the things that they do is they start poking around the ziggurat and the hill that it was on, trying to figure out what was going on with that whole thing. And they get to where the prism was, and they climb down into the recess where the prism used to be. And it goes down and down and down and down. And they go deeper and deeper and deeper, and they start running expeditions that take several days to get down. And then finally they reach what they believe is the bottom, and they find an enormous stone double door. And outside of the stone double door are the remains of several people in what appear to be like spellcasters' robes that died probably within the last, we'll say, 6 months to a year. So these are recent deaths of magicians exploring this place. And they discover that the wizards, before they perished, were right on the cusp of getting this door open. And the Overtonians just so happen, thanks to the help with some hexologists, just so happen to know the last few steps to the thing to kind of crack this sigil. So they crack it, and they open it up, and they go inside. And there, frozen in basically mid-desiccation, is a tomb full of open-air bodies, just laying on their back, corpse-style. And these people are in a sort of pseudo-stasis. They are very dead, and they are partially rotted, but, like, everything is very still about them. And they start to discover, after doing a little bit of research, that this is where the people who went through the prism end up. They discover there was a prism here, and you go through it, and this is where you go. The wizards are necromancers linked to the Undying Empire that desperately wanted access to all of these bodies.
I wish I could describe the look on my face right now.
Emily is gleeful right now.
Twist!
Wonder what killed him.
The second you said Grim and the Prism, I saw it. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, where are the corpses?
Oh, you don't say.
Where are
Where
the
are
pile
the
of corpses
bodies?
of people who thought they were going to their personal
And
paradises?
where are the corpses?
Ben, what
Still
do you
doesn't
got
answer
there?
the question of
Nothing.
how the prison got there and why.
What do you got there? A smoothie?
See, here's the thing. It's just, it's that meme, right? The ostrich is like the smoothie is labeled boy pit, and the ostrich is labeled also boy pit.
It's the second boy pit.
I think there might be a theory after that discovery, or people think like
Oh, hit me with it.
the preservation magic might have been better when it was originally made. This could have been created as like a way to save and preserve people, but something went wrong.
The prism was removed.
The prism got stolen. They stole the fucking prism.
Yeah, so something went wrong. The prism was stolen. The door was broken. Like
Yeah.
the seal was broken.
Okay, so what I'm imagining is now some kind of force was like, okay, I need to collect a bunch of guys. No. It's okay. These guys, I need to grant their wishes, but I'm not nearly fast enough to do it all. Everyone who pulls up, I'm gonna put them in stasis so I can figure out how to grant their wish. As long as the prism's still here, they're all good. Where's the prism?
Oh no!
What the fuck?
Or it was simply easier that they lived out the life that they wanted just in their heads. They went full Matrix.
True.
Maybe here's the legend attached to it. If we go way back, and we're talking a few millennium, like before our timeline starts, let's say it's a story of like a young prince who was to be heir to a kingdom that was here, a flourishing kingdom. And they had this ziggurat. And the prince was ill. The prince was sickly. And they needed him to be ready to take over when his father died, but they were concerned about his illness. And so they built this preservation chamber. But the prince was afraid. He's like, I can't go in there. I'm terrified of this. And so they made it so that the prism, which both preserves the bodies, would lie to the prince and say, you are going to go to paradise. This is going to be great and safe and perfect. You're going to go to paradise, and then when we need you, we will call for you. And the prince was like, sick. And so he said that. He said it that way. He's like, oh, sick.
Yeah, you are, son.
And so the prince went into the prism where his body could be preserved. And from then on, the prism's still going. So that civilization, like during times of need, would preserve people in the prism and keep them there. So it's likely there's a mix of people there's probably a mix of like they'll call them. There's probably a mix of travelers, just like folks that stumbled on the damn thing. But then if you get farther and farther back, you probably see people in like ornate finery, like robes and gold and gildings and that kind of stuff too. Maybe that's part of where this, like what this thing is.
There's got to be at least one person in there who is like completely wrapped, all features obscured in brightly colorful clothing. One of LSE's spies.
Oh, yeah.
One of LSE's
Nice.
undead.
Yeah.
Because Lotharius is like, I'm gonna do a better job than that when it comes to undead.
Man, I have a lot of thoughts. I am hoping I get another turn.
I'm gonna
Cross
put a
your
pin in
fingers.
this. What that means, in my head now, somewhere in the Empire, there's like a baron or someone like higher up the food chain that we don't have like a term yet for, that it wears an armor made out of the prism, where you look at them and you see like whatever you need to see that makes you want to follow them, and they just wear like this armor of lies and are just like the most horrifying, hideous monster, but everyone sees them as like,
What a fucking awesome like boss fight. That is some Elden Ring shit. I love that.
very much like kind of Medusa style. Like if you look at this thing, like this Baron, you will not see something you can fight. Whatever the prism can show you so that you can't like move yourself to harm whatever's wearing the armor, it will show you.
That's
You
awesome.
won't be able to fight, but I'm built different.
Me too.
Worse. I'm built
I'd
worse.
punch a puppy.
Oh, no, you wouldn't.
If it's wearing the armor of lies, yeah, I would.
Well, yeah, it's got armor.
Of lies. Let's move our project die one step. And let's go on to Zadkiel. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. This is a good one. Hey.
Uh-huh.
The time has come to consolidate your efforts and your borders. Projects located outside the settlement fail, and all remaining projects are reduced by 2 this week, or
Whoa.
Someone finds a curious opportunity on the edge of the map. Start a project related to this discovery. I know, this one's
We
gnarly.
love curious.
Damn.
Yeah, no, we can't. Like, I feel like we can let prepping for war cook, if that's okay.
Someone can settle.
And
Whatever you want to do.
so they have explored the ziggurat. They've explored the bluffs. They've poked around at the big skeleton. But it's like, as it's been getting colder and the brush has been thinning out a little bit, they've been making steady progress towards the big tree. And as they are walking, there is a hexologist who's making notes. They've created for themselves a rather ingenious pen that pumps ink from like a well that they keep on their hip so that they can write as they walk.
Ink,
But
you
they
say?
trip over a root. Yes, ink, I say. They trip over a root, and the inkwell shatters against a tree. And as it runs down the side of this log, as they've come close to the palisade logs, I think the words that come across it are,
Stop eating our nests.
no, I think it is something more like,
We thought you'd forgotten us.
ooh, that's really great. We thought you'd forgotten how to speak.
Oh,
What
yeah.
appears on the wall. So all of a sudden they're just like, shit, we need more ink. And they are going to, with the big tree down here, are going to begin a project speaking with the Fae down here. And I'm going to make that block.
That's awesome. How long are they going to try to do this?
Because we established in the previous game that they can communicate relatively well using this system of and discussion. Like, it's going to take a month before they can fully come to terms with what's going on and start to understand each other.
About 2 turns?
And that's going to be a
roughly?
project. 2 turns.
You got it. All right. And, of course, you get to discover something, start another project, or host a discussion.
We're going to discover something new. Somebody finally takes the time to go and fish in the river.
Let's go!
They find that there aren't a ton of fish properly, but they do find like a number of mussels and clams and some other shellfish that have managed to hold on and are still okay this late in the season. And they eat one of these mussels, and they see 2 images. The first they see is the starry skies on a warm night with the sound of kind of a harmonic lowing in the background that slowly turns to see a somewhat grizzled, bearded face of a wanderer, and are overwhelmed by a sense of love and affection for this person. And then that sense shifts to an overwhelming sadness, a flurry of starlight, a blinding rage, a bronze axe, a pale face, the plateau covered in the skinned corpses of 2-headed goats, and a star rolling down a cheek and the side of the mountain and landing in the valley. And that's how they discover that the things that live in the river hold on to what is washed away.
Hell yeah. I would also presume that there's probably at least one extant Varakwi on the bridge.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about like a Varak. They would have had to come from Nairburn, which is like eminently reasonable that a Varakwi would have made their way up this way.
We'll jump on the bridge at Nairburn.
Or they could be from Nairburn originally been traveling with the bridge and are just long lived.
Yeah. Or just many generations apart.
Yeah. Well, at the bare minimum, people on the bridge know what a Varakwi is.
Yeah.
Right.
So
And the parallels are drawn immediately.
I am absolutely certain there are people on the bridge who have been chronicling this bridge's history as it travels.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I'm on this bridge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, there's for sure people who jumped on the bridge because it sounded fucking cool and went, yo.
I'm going to figure out where that fucking bridge is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's, like...
Well, it's easy to do from Nairburn.
Like, the reason the reason the people that we've been following in every other game we've done haven't heard about the bridge because it never came through their area. But in other places of the continent, it's a famous, like, you know, you're lucky if you get to spot the bridge once in your lifetime type deal. Like, other people are like, I wonder if the bridge will visit us one day.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because we've only been on one of the continents, really.
Yeah.
Two, if you count.
And the bridge has been doing this for
800 years
right now?
600.
800, 600,
800,
like
600.
centuries. Yeah. So, of course, it's known.
Mm-hmm.
If it jumps every 2 years, that's like 200-300 different places it's gone to. Like,
Yeah.
And we know at least 3 of them were on this continent. So, so people would be like, it's the bridge! Some people are like, I've wanted to be on the bridge my entire life. I've dreamed of this.
That's why we keep ending up in empty cities.
yeah, DeGale is like, you guys are getting a little too big for your
It's
fucking
like, we are
bridges. All right?
Humble pie time.
Just sit with yourselves for a little while.
Let's move our projects 1 tick. And let's go to Rob. Oh, Rob.
Is that a good one?
You see a good omen. End prompt.
Oh, that's great because 5 is the wheel. It is the 5th turn.
So, after the discovery of the muscles, the properties, it becomes a whole thing. Imagine, like, you know, when the iPhones were like so big that people were like camping out for like the 2 days before the next iPhone would come out in front of the store so that they could be the first one. Like, I'm imagining people are like fully getting off the climate controlled bridge and just like camping out by the river to get to like one of the few ice fishing places that are known to be like consistently good, just so they can, in a few days maybe, get a mussel that they can prepare and consume, right? And like people who are from or know of Nairburn, or like who are descended of, or maybe are Varakwi, are like chief among those people. So this is like, is an absolute like almost like mania or fad, I think. So one day in particular, everyone who eats what they manage to get from the river has the same vision, and this is the first and last time that ever happens. And they see a large room that they all recognize as like the open forum of like one of the biggest like public spaces in Overton, and they see dozens of people in some mixture of like military and noble like dress surrounding a map of most of the continent. They can see like different people, hear different snippets of conversation, and it's just such a crystal clear image of thousands of communities in one place collaborating. This like crystal clear message to the people who see it.
Hell yeah, that's a fucking great omen.
Wild that they're seeing the future instead of the past.
That's interesting. Who would do that? Who would cause such a thing to happen? start a project, host a discussion, or discover something new.
I also have this in mind. It's also going to deal with the river. So, as a consequence of so many people wanting to get in on this, the like scaling of ice fishing continues to expand, right? The desire for these experiences, right? Like these looks into the past, or now chasing like this strange like shared vision is a high priority for some people, and it is curtailed when a small group that it was like trying to find a new spot breaks through the ice and goes into the river. This is probably a maybe like a handful of people that this happens to. Like it's a small party, and only one person returns from that party, and they are very much changed. I think that they are so infused with memory that they can essentially wield it almost like a physical force. Because that person is the first person to bathe in the river and survive it in a very long time.
What does it look like to wield memory as a physical force?
I like to imagine what it is when they manifest this, it's as if you can see almost like a video glitching, like after images and before images of other people doing what they are manifesting the magic to do. Like if they're getting like very simply trying to like push something out of the way, they are making the physical motion, and then you're seeing people who have pushed things in the past who they remember doing so, and those memories are like dozens, maybe hundreds of them are being like brought into the present and pushing things one more time because they've already been done. And this person who's been like drowned in memory is able to bring that back for some time.
My mouth has never been further wide open. What the fuck?
That's so cool, because it's using your memory externally to affect reality.
That's so
badass.
anime protag coded.
That is
so
fucking
good.
cool. Lex, we need your help.
You could have gone horrifying with that, but I love it.
I love
Yeah.
it. Lex, we
It's a
need
good
you
omen.
to make up a sick-ass name for this type of magic.
Oh, I mean, I thought you were about to ask for the Latin word for memory. I'm like, I got bad news for you.
Bad news on that one. It's not exciting.
It's like where do you think we got memory
I
from?
mean, like monomancy, like mnemonics,
could be,
mnemonics, something like that. Like
Like
Phenomena.
No.
And also, if you want to get technical, it would be turgy, not mancy. This is a little English geek thing that's in the hill I'll die on. It doesn't fucking matter. None of it matters, but it's a rant that I have loaded at all times.
But it kind of does matter because monomancy is impossible to say.
Yeah.
But monomaturgy or something turgy, logoturgy from the logos or the thought or like the reason.
Logoturgy sounds a little bit less like you're eating it. Like you want to eat it.
Well, general rule for how English works. Whenever we're talking about a mancy or a turgy, it's usually from the Greek root, not the Latin one.
True.
And Greek for memory is...
It's going to be memory.
Oh, I should know this one.
Oh, that's not pronounceable.
What is it? Oh,
Nemesine. Sorry, that's pronounceable. So it would be just nemoturgy, yeah.
nematurgy?
I like it.
Nemoturgy, but like silent M-N-E-M-O-S-Y-N-E.
Yeah.
Like demonic.
I like that it's accurate, but that's not very sexy.
Could we do something with nostalgia? That might also be another place to look. But menace.
So this is also, if you try to do this to yourself, 99% of the time you are gonna die. Just to be clear, my pitch for what the like layman's term for what like this person and anyone who subsequently becomes like them is a thought drowned.
Thought drown. Oh yeah, yeah, something like thought drowning. I kind of get with that. Okay, so check it out. The word nostalgia comes from the Greek words nostos, which is return, and algos, which is pain. Now we're not going to use the pain, but nostomancy.
That works.
I like that.
Nostomancy.
Yeah.
We can cut all the linguistic shit. No one gives a fuck.
It is a world building podcast. I feel like some of our core audience.
I mean,
actually
okay,
does
you're
give a
right.
fuck.
Some of you fucking nerds give a shit. I'm one of those nerds, so I get you. I just figured I was only one. But you're right.
No.
Ooh,
Right,
I'm
no,
right
I
here.
like
If you don't care about linguistics, skip to
Skip. Go back 2 minutes and
If
then
you don't
skip
care
forward.
about linguistics, we apologize. You may not like this show.
Content warning, some nerd shit.
some nerd shit.
Some nerd shit. Nostomancy.
No, nostaturgy.
Well, it'd be
Nostaturgy.
nostaturgy. We're kind of
Nosturgy.
Nostalgia.
Nostragy. That sounds like a sinus infection.
I think
We're going towards nostrils here.
nostaturgy works for me.
Actually, let's see here. No.
Okay, to clarify, the turgy thing that is fully pedantic, no one needs to care. So here's the thing. I'm gonna go on the rant. Cut the fucking rant. I swear this time, actually cut this rant. The whole thing with when people talk necromancy, anything that ends with mancy technically means ability to see the future using the thing. So necromancy is speaking with the dead to see the future. Necroturgy is moving the dead. Turgy is moving things. Mancy seeing the future.
Oh my God! Hold
That
on.
means
I've got another
needs
one.
to be turgy.
What if we called it Gnostikinesis?
Yes, same premise. Gnostikinesis would be the same thing.
And that avoids
Yeah, because that
turgy.
was very much a
Yeah.
telepathic telekinesis kind of
Mhm,
situation.
Gnostikinesis? That kind of
Yeah,
sounds
that
kinda
works.
fun.
I like
No, it
that.
works.
Nostokinesis
Yes,
is
it's
That is the thing about me that makes me mad is turgy is a different thing than mancy, and everyone just says mancy, and they're fucking wrong.
Okay,
Even
but
though
we
they've been,
should keep that
even
rant.
though
That
everyone's
wasn't
been
very
wrong
long, it
for
was
so
very quick.
long, that is now the actual definition. But I'm still gonna be a dick about it,
yeah.
It's like how
Uh,
literally doesn't have to mean literally anymore.
which is bullshit.
I agree. We're all in agreement. It'll be either Nostaturgy or Gnostikinesis, but we'll.
Nostokinesis.
I like Gnostikinesis.
I wanna
That
put my
feels-
flag down
feels
on
good to say.
Gnostikinesis.
It's
Yeah.
very spiky. It's very
That's
jagged.
your thing.
Okay.
But yes, kinesis is technically more correct than urgy, if you want to get super technical.
Let us move our project die.
I've got one that finishes.
Oh, Zad finishes. Zad, what was your project and what happens?
My project was making contact with the fairies, the fungal fairies. As they are gaining this contact, as they gather ink and they pour it on trees, they find that pouring it on different ones of these trunks, they can get some exceptionally hostile answers, especially like the trunks that are to the lowest parts of the bulwark. Like they dump it on one and it is literally nothing but profanity.
Excellent. They learned some new words.
Yeah, like a hexologist is there and is like, oh, hey, no, scrub that off, don't read it too closely. That is a literal curse. That is a mind worm. If you internalize what that is saying, you're going to bring that back. And we've already got so many ghosts in the goddamn bricks. Like, it is legitimately bad for you. But as they start talking to these strange creatures that live inside the dead trees, they say, we are those who have always lived here. We miss those who were here after us. It is sad that we are here after them. But the ones who came after that and have come still have left the place dead. They talk about how there had been conflicts with the people who had lived here, but everything had kind of gotten sorted out, and how this had been a place of great life, and how excited they are to be bringing life back to this place. They talk about how much they miss everything that has died, or everything that has been destroyed. They warn the people, leave the core AB, is something that is said many times, and it takes a very long time to figure out that they mean don't go to the canal. They just say leave the core AB. The core A keeps us safe. Not safe enough. They refer to it as the Firefly's grave from time to time. But yeah, they find that these people were pushed back. They all now live either in these walls and they will keep anybody out, or they live inside the enormous tree. Is the whole of their civilization, even though they used to live everywhere here. And also they say some of them start voicing an excitement about the things that are coming next for them, and all of the great lands that they're going to see carried again by the traveler who brought them cake. And I think it takes a while before somebody asks, like, well, what do you mean? What do you mean coming with us? Like, what do you mean, like, going with the traveler? You guys know DeGale? And they're like, yes, we've. It is good to be inside the people of an old friend, because they've been eating the mushrooms. They are now inhabiting a number of bodies of Overtonians. Not only that, but inhabiting the architecture of the bridge itself. I think there's been assurances that it's not necessarily going to. It might not be pleasant, but it's not going to necessarily kill anybody. And they live not just here, but they live in the bridge now.
I both want to add a contempt and take away a contempt.
Uh-huh. No, I'm adding contempt just for that wording. I don't like that.
There is now a park that is Fey Park.
Like,
all the trees are Fey trees in that park.
I got a contempt in real life.
Oh no. I feel like at this point they'd ask the trees, hey, can we use this wood to build things?
No, they say that you can't use these. We need them to keep our home safe, in case the ones who came after return. So do not take any of these. Your bodies and your homes will be fine vessels for us.
We're good here in your cells.
Hey, how do I evict you, dude?
Just wait, we'll leave.
Hey, man, squatters' rights.
I don't want to tell you how the digestive system works, and squatters' rights indeed.
A poop joke.
Hey, this is the part of the podcast where we make a shit joke.
No, it was a pretty good joke. A good one.
All right.
This is why I'm here.
I'm gonna eat glass.
Bree, save us.
All right, Bree, are you ready?
I don't know, am I? It depends. Let's see. I'm gonna make it weird.
What are you, me?
No, I'm me.
That's a face?
Well, Bree likes to talk about lighting matches, so here we go. Bree, all the animals and young children are crying and won't stop. Hold a discussion about this in addition to your regular action for this week. Or a great atrocity is revealed. What is it? Who uncovers it?
As they go, because there's this area almost, I don't know if that's supposed to be a coastline. I'm going to go with the great atrocity, though, where there are these spikes of stone that poke up out of the ground.